All right, hello and welcome. This is episode 22 of Game Pass Library series that I've been doing for all those games, those wonderful games that are available on the Game Pass subscription. This is Lost Words Beyond the Page. It is from a independent game studio that goes by, you probably heard of them anyway, is Modus Games. You're probably more familiar with some of their work like In Sound Mind, Trine series. Christelles is a very recent one. Solstice, Animal Royale, Override, and Remothered. I think I may have already said that one. But this is a story based game. And if I could take a moment to read off of the website on Modus Games, and it is a 2D adventure platform. Navigate beautiful 2D worlds set inside a young girl's diary by walking on the words and using them as tools to solve different puzzles. And it is strictly is a little too harsh, maybe, but it is heavy on story, and it's a touching story. So if you've ever had anybody that you cared for, this is probably going to be one of those games that can tug at some strings. But I have gotten about, I'd say about an hour into the game. That's normally what I'll do for the Game Pass Library series. And as always, if you don't know how I like to run these Game Pass Library episodes, I primarily like to take suggestions from viewers like you. If you're watching this on the archived episode on YouTube, jump over to my Twitch channel, follow me there, or just stop by and drop a game title in the chat if you're there, or drop one here in the comment section below. Tell me a game that you'd like to see streamed from the Game Pass library, and if I haven't already made an episode of it, I will play and learn the game for about an hour, and then I will make an episode of it. Now, this is not a review, it's just my perspective. I have not completed the game, so some of the stuff that you're going to see here is new to me, and it could spoil the game for you. So please take that into consideration. Keep that in mind as we continue here with Lost Words Beyond the Page. So how I like to do this is I like to build questions as I'm playing. Things that I might expect or things that I would like to see in the game. I try to do my best not to be too overly critical. But there may be some wants that I would like to see in the game. There may
Hello,
be
Jana.
there may
Today
be
at
some
school, I got my history essay back.
there might be some really great areas, some cool bits that I like to cover, some funny bits, goods, others, poors, bads. I'll try to look at like interface menus, graphic design, maybe some frequently asked questions that I have myself, and then certain feelings. And I'll get the feelings right out of the way. I mean, I think I said this at the very beginning. If you have ever lost a loved one suddenly, or you simply miss their presence, this will kind of tug at some of those strings. It's a good story. It's almost two stories in one happening in tandem, and they are closely connected. So here you can see this is sort of a transition part of the game. The entire game isn't like this, but it wouldn't be bad if it was like this. It is done so well. So it is fully narrated so far. Every word that is written here is spoken by the voice actress that you'll hear here as these characters. I walk on words, literally walk on words. So as I'm jumping around on words, you can see that the character can touch those words as a platform. You can walk off the edge. It'll just kind of reset. And today at school, I got my history lesson. And then when you hit this purple colored text, it will continue the
I
narration
wrote
or the
about the
text.
Vikings. I love Vikings.
And then you'll notice I have a little bit of a cursor here. This is sort of a spirit, if you will. And I'm just going to use it sort of as a pointer, which is very convenient. It would be nice if all games had a pointer for streamers so that you could say, hey, yeah, just look right over here, or, just, hey, I want to add a pointer on the game right now. It'll not necessarily freeze the game, but it'll give you sort of I don't know, sort of like I have here. I wish all games had it. But anyway, I'm just going to kind of move around. You see this right here. That's a collectible. I'm going to jump down over
Mr.
here,
Collins
hit this.
didn't like it.
collect that. Those are collectibles.
I won't be showing this
Ooh,
to Mum.
that's not a good grade. Now, somewhere, I feel like I'm gonna. You can sometimes see little parts of the book that you can pick up. You can see how I've picked this up, and you can manipulate it. And I'm probably gonna end up burning this. That makes sense.
She has enough to worry about.
Now you can see this little thing here will always show up when you know that the area that you were in is going to turn the page.
Vikings are the best. They're tall and strong.
Well, probably. I like these little, these parts right here aren't narrated, but sort of that inner monologue of the narrator.
They love conquering. And fire. Vikings are basically all kinds of awesome. I could really use some awesome right now. I got her old photo album out. I wanted to see Gran like I remember her when she was awesome.
Now again, I forewarned you, there are spoilers here. So if it's a game that you would like to experience on your own, I mean, it is very calming. It's very charming. It's a good story, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but inherently, based off of the video that I'm making right now, it's going to be spoiled. I think that happens with just about any game that you watch a review of. Well, I say a review, but this is not a review. This is sort of just a live continuation of my experience with the game.
But every time I close my eyes, I see her in that horrible bed. We're visiting the hospital later today. When we arrived, Gran was asleep. Her skin looked so thin, almost see-through, like tissue paper. She was Gran-shaped, but empty. I mean, that's silly, right, Journal? It's just Gran. But somehow it isn't. It's not her! She woke up after a few minutes, but it didn't seem like she knew who we were. Why? Why is this happening? Why her? It isn't fair. Why, Journal? Gran still can't speak properly. It's so cruel. She can't tell us anything. Like what she wants to eat? Or how she feels? And what's worse, everyone pretends they're having a real conversation with her, but they're not. You're doing fine, Barbara, the doctor said to her. You just need some time. Hospitals should make you better. She's so ill now. I want her better now. Just wait. Time is a healer. I thought that was his job. I wish I could help her. It makes me so mad. Nurse said it was dinner. Mum had ordered Gran soup and a jacket potato. But when Gran tried to eat by herself, she kept dropping her cutlery. Then I noticed Mum had ordered her mushroom soup. Mushroom! Gran calls them nature's bogies. I reminded Mum about the mushrooms. She got that look and banged the spoon against the bowl. There was lip pursing. But looking at Gran, I had to help her. I still had some loose change. So I ran down to the entrance hall, where I'd seen a vending machine on the way in. Egg sandwich! Hurrying back to 305, I couldn't help but grin. They didn't let me back in. Adult talk. Wait outside. That's what they said. So I waited on a bench until Mum came out the room. She said nothing. Just took me to the car. We didn't speak a single word. Not at the car park. Not during our drive home. Dad had made pies for tea. I just wasn't hungry. Dad said I needed to eat. I said if Gran wasn't going to eat, neither would I. He sent me to my room. I slammed the door really loudly and flumped onto my bed. I still had the egg sandwich. It was all mushed up. Everything is all mushed up. Dad is mean. Mum doesn't care. And pie is stupid. Maybe I should just try to write my story. Let's see. Last time, Grace was plunging down into the dark below, but the djinn's spell slowed her fall. Down and down she went, tumbling, helpless. Then and there, Grace started to...
All right, so yeah, that was a long spell of silence, and again, I want the game to somewhat speak for itself in those instances. So this is again a different game. Most of what you're seeing here is the extent of what you're going to do for these transition periods. Now, this isn't the entirety of the game, and you'll see that as she transitions, and you can see much like probably Tolkien did with his upbringing in war and what Lord of the Rings became. This girl is going through a traumatic time, and she's creating a story to give face to and an overall kind of shield to what it is she's going through. And I think they do that exceptionally well. And you actually have choice in the game if you find yourself with these small pieces of the puzzle, or a sort of an ad lib, if you will. You can pick and give the character, which you also name and is also narrated throughout the story as that name. Then you can pick, and you see that the game is actually being somewhat written. I'm sure it's somewhat of a linear story, but I have made choices in the game that have sort of directed the character's motivations in the story, and she speaks to them frequently. So your choices have a bearing on the tone of the story and how the character deals with certain instances of plot twists, if you will. So here's a Grace started to either thrash, scream, or cry. We're going to say scream because I pretty much, maybe she could grab onto something. Maybe someone could hear her. I think I've kind of made her sort of a destructive character right now. All right, so you see this large tear in the book. This is where we're going to transition into the sort of the world that she's created to sort of deal with what she's going through. Now, this probably isn't going to be the hour-long episodes that I normally make, just based off the story that we're seeing here. We'll talk about that after this.
Frustrated, angry. She wanted answers.
Sort of, I'm manipulating the spark that you're seeing fly around there.
The Jinn's magic gently released her into the unknown. Now where am I?
All right, so now I've got control of the character. Now this is sort of the world that my character, her name is Grace. You can name her differently. Limited choice, but you can still name her differently. And based on what you've already seen and sort of what I read at the beginning, this is a game that lets you play on and with words, literally. You can see in the diary that sort of connects the, let's say, real life situation that the narrator's going through and the world that she's created to sort of separate her from that. And we're going to kind of see some of the mechanism here. And I'm going to read again from the website for this game. The storytelling we've talked about. There's traverse, sort of this emotional narrative that we've seen already, and the overall visual style, which I think is very clear. You'll see some more of that here, but the innovative gameplay that they're trying to address here is where you're harnessing words. And again, some of these words are written on the website. They're not all mine, but you use these words that's inside these books, and you collect new words as you play. So we're going to open up this book here, and pretty much anywhere that you have this, we'll call it a spark right now. I think they're calling them fireflies for thematically. And again, this is what you have control over. Wherever that spark is at and you open the book, that's where the book was going to be. So you don't have to worry about it ever covering up something that you want to see. Just move your cursor over and you can move the book. So these are words that I've collected through the story. You can have hope. If you bring hope up, it's sort of like a light amongst other things. You can place it in the world. Sometimes it'll just fade away if it's not being used or if it goes off screen. But if I'm looking around here, I see a block here, and then I'm trying to collect all of these fireflies, and that's an element of the story that you'll be able to follow playing through the game on your own. So I'll kind of let you discover that. Some of it might be revealed as I'm playing. Again, that's just part of the way that the video is going to go. So again, forewarned, some of the spoilers that will happen will just be me learning it with you and me seeing it for the first time as well. So I'm trying to collect these fireflies. In order to get through this, I've got an ability to break. So then I take the word and I break the block. Now I can see another one over here, so I'm going to move the word over here and break that block as well. Now you can populate the words over here and then just pick them and move them around. And let's say I just wanted to populate this world if there was a couple of puzzles out. It looks like I can, this is something I'm learning right now as well. It looks like I can have 2 words on the screen at a time and say if I needed to manipulate them on the fly. I place them in the world, then I can move the character freely while I'm moving the words as well, so your character isn't frozen in time. And again, all this narration that you see down here is all voiceover worked. It's very well done, which I give kudos to the team that worked on that. So we're going to go ahead and move forward here and continue the story. So this is sort of what the game is, a manipulation of words.
At least it's quiet.
And awesome narration.
Just my luck. And what's that? Molten stone. She'd seen nothing like this in her forest home. I really miss my.
Actually, I'm going to jump. I really want to jump in the lava, and I'm going to do that. Sometimes she'll say something. It's like, wait, that's not how the story went. All right, so you can kind of figure out what I have to do here. I'll take the break. I'll populate it over here, and you'll see once it goes off the screen, then it'll be gone, and it's always available. There are some words that are quote unquote fleeting. Those will pop up in red. You can use those as sort of like a one-time use. They're not always usable like you see here, but the game will give you what you need, or you'll have what you need. Just make sure you kind of keep your eyes out.
A stalactite hung above, looking decidedly precarious.
And for those that want to know the difference between a stalactite and a stalagmite, stalactites are obviously hanging from the ceiling because they're holding on tight, and mites, they stand their ground, so they have might. If you ever want to figure out the difference between those two, I used to get them confused too. We're gonna say break.
None of this seems welcoming. None at all.
Yeah, the music in the game as well. And again, there's a lot of depth in what it is that the story has. The gameplay is very simple, so there's not a lot that I need to talk to other than what you're going to see just happen in the game. So hopefully up to this point, I don't see, and I haven't seen, that doesn't mean that there's not, but based on what I've seen so far up to this point, there's good characters, there's good lore, you'll have that. Locations are varied. It's not just this one. You'll go through different areas. I went through a couple more before I got to the point that you're seeing here. Combat, haven't seen a lot of combat at all, but that doesn't mean that there isn't any, and that doesn't mean that we won't see any. We talked about music. The hand-drawn animation at the very beginning inside the journal is very, very charming, very, very well put together. It kind of helps with the smooth transition from her diary into the stories and the gameplay that you're seeing here.
Careful! What is this?
Now you can see up at the top left, I need 20 collectibles, which are the fireflies, and I've gotten 4 out of those 20. You may or may not get all of them either.
Something was
You could miss some.
about the pendulous nature of the ceiling. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it!
Oops.
Something was unnerving about the pendulous nature of the ceiling. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it!
Ah. Oh no! She's gotten stuck. I might have to reload. Give me a quick second here. Well, that's an interesting one. I might have gotten her stuck. See if I can lift her out of here. If that's even a thing. Or, let's see if I can break them. I might actually have to restart here real quick. Alright, give me a quick second. I'll go back to the main menu.
Something was unnerving about the pendulous nature of the ceiling.
I feel like I should run.
I knew it! I knew it!
Gonna go back for that one. So see, that instance, and again, this isn't a full review, that instance where you saw her get stuck, that would be sort of an other point for me on the way that I look at the games. I got goods, others, poors, bads, funny bits, cool bits, greats. And we kind of talked about some of the goods, the cool points, the greats. That would be an other. I was still able to reset. The checkpoints were generous. I was pretty much right back where I had left off. But that would be an other, something they might want to look at if that ever happened. Give control to the player to be able to just pull that character out of there.
This is ridiculous! I need to find whatever is causing this and stop it, or I'll be smushed.
Actually, I want to use this block.
As the sound got closer, Grace realized she would soon face its maker.
Now this name right here is what I chose to call her. And you may not be able to see it, but her gown, or this dress that she's wearing, is green, which is a color that you also get to pick.
Okay.
So, you've pretty much seen what I've experienced in the game. The way that you manipulate the words to help you progress in the story itself, the narration, the artistic design and direction is extremely well done. I am enjoying it immensely. And again, we've talked about Modus and the development team there. I'm actually downloading Chris Dale's right now. I have access to Trine series, which is also in the Game Pass library, and I just purchased In Sound Mind, which is a game that is available. It was on sale. It was from about $35 to $25, about $10 off right now. So I picked that one up. It's not on the Game Pass, but I picked it up on my PlayStation 5. It's also available on the Xbox Series X and probably PC as well. But again, make sure you guys are checking out Modus and the games that they have designed and published. So the rest of the gameplay that I'm going to show is going to be until this segment ends, and then we'll call that a good one. If it's a full 30 minutes, which gives us a total of an hour, that's great. But otherwise, I think you guys have seen what the game has to offer. Lots of story, lots of good platforming, manipulation of words literally to help you progress in the game. So I'm going to let the game kind of speak for itself to this point. I'll still have my audio going, so I may have some points to make further, but please enjoy from this point on. Thank you very much.
Here we go. Fire and flame wrapped her form. Hey! Stop that! You'll bring the whole cave down. But the giantess just kept on pounding.
It's probably just a personification or how she's feeling right now based on the things that are happening in her life. Oh, yep, missed the jump there.
The lava gently bubbled, as if to mock her lack of progress. I needed that.
You can see how I leave the words here on the screen. Up to 2, it looks like. I can let them taper off into the background, or I can grab them and use them again before they're completely taken away. We'll take the break again.
No, not again. The whole floor's going to give way. Ah!
There's a couple of really cool segments where she slides down
Right.
for
Not
a
listening
good distance,
or
and it's
ignoring. I don't care.
very
I
cool.
have to stop her. Inside Grace was a white, hot rage.
Now, I don't want to spoil much about the choices that I've made, but some of the things that she's saying really feel like a choice that I made very early in the game on how she is acting right now. Could or could not be a thing, but I did make choices in the early parts of the game by selecting specific words to fill in the blanks. And she seems to be acting along those lines, which makes me want to play through again to see how she observes the world. Maybe the world even changes. Those are some of the questions that I have on the game to see whether or not choices have a significant impact or just subtle impacts. Oh, right off the edge.
Hey, you! Hey, whoever you are, you nearly killed me. Hey, are you listening?
Me alone.
No. That's not fair. What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with me?
Might have overdone this. I really need to get out of here. A timely exit. Grace didn't quite know what she'd encountered. Sheesh! She's so angry. The thought stuck with Grace. What's wrong with her, I wonder? Ooh, I think I need a breather. A place to rest. Grace was beginning to feel the burn of loneliness.
All right, so this is a new word. Whether or not this word is added to my book, or if it's a fleeting word, which means it's a limited use, could or could not be something that we see. Keep her warm.
Better. Grace's thoughts drifted back to the burning giantess. Why would she be so full of rage? She must have felt...
And these are the things that make me want to play the game multiple times to see if this choice of whether or not she feels alone, unappreciated, or misunderstood, and how that changes the way that the dialogue progresses. And this is the thing that is done. So some of these choices will show up later in the way that my character has sort of addressed a specific situation. So I'm interested to see when I play through it again. One choice I made was sort of significant, and I'd like to see how that changes based on the choice. I'm going to say underappreciated or unappreciated.
Nobody values her. That's it.
I've actually chosen to sort of make her like see the world as
That would drive me
doomed.
underground too. Grace vowed to be more understanding. If they met again.
All right, so this is going to be a burn. All right, so it does look like I have a new word. So new words show up in green. If they're fleeting, they'll be red. We'll see what else I can
As
use
the
for
light.
burning. See if this works. Huh.
Pushed back the darkness. A heaviness lifted from her heart. That was strangely satisfying.
Just curious if it would kill her or if it would just push her back. Looks like it just pushed her back. Let's put the burn here. Let's make this fall down. So let's break that. Now let's see if we can light the fuse. Might be up top. Oh, it's wrapped around. Okay. Let's take burn with us. There's the fuse.
Elder Ava wouldn't approve, but I don't care.
All right, fuse is right over here. So let's bring out burn again.
Yeah!
That's gonna be a big explosion.
Wait.
Oops. She might want to step back one.
Oh no. Not again!
She got lucky.
Grace was adrift on the current. Without control. Lost on the flow of lava. it would take her where it wished.
Get over.
It's speeding up. That can't be good. The burning river went faster. And faster.
Keep hold of his burn just in case.
Okay, Grace.
Choose your
Remember,
words
empathy.
carefully.
You! You again!
She isn't listening. Run, Grace, run!
Ooh.
Thundering steps shook the earth. Where is
Faster. 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 Ah! That was way too close.
debris was flying everywhere.
Oh, missed that jump.
I won't. Sunlight. Freedom. Now look what you've done.
You look!
We're trapped and it's all your fault. I hate this place and I hate you.
I hate you!
Her anger consumed itself. Huh? What happened to you?
No! Don't feel so angry now!
Angry. When I'm angry, I take a few deep breaths.
Yes. Helps.
As her anger left, it brought a change. You did it again!
Lump's anger gone.
Lump? Nice to meet you. I'm Grace. Sorry I was so angry.
Lump's sorry too. Lump scares Lump when Lump's so big.
I'm looking for a dragon. Have you seen it?
What? Dragon?
I'll show you. But first, we need to get out of here. Just then, Grace noticed a boomshroom she hadn't seen before. We did it! We're free!
Free!
Lump! You coming?
Lump likes Grace.
Hello, Journal. Today,
All right.
Sarah at school told me her granddad had a stroke too.
That is going to be it for this look at Lost Words. I hope you enjoyed that look. That was about 40 minutes of focused attention on the game. I hope that you enjoyed it. I have been enjoying the game immensely. There's a pretty good segment at the very beginning that you didn't see. That's where I started off, so everything before that. And then obviously everything that follows after. I just met a new character, Lump. So there's obviously some time left to enjoy. I hope that this gives you sort of an idea of what to expect when you download or purchase or however you get a hold of the game. This should give you somewhat of an idea of what to expect. I hope you have somewhat of an insight on what your choice may be if you decided to pick the game up or try it out. But again, in summary, I think overall the greats of the game are sort of the hand-drawn touches, the voiceover, acting, narration throughout. She's doing a wonderful job. The music gives a extremely calming and an overall, overarching bit of charm to the story. Those two connected stories we talk about are running in parallel. You can see some of those things leaking into the world that the character has built. The whole innovative gameplay, I like to play on with words. Being able to do that is very novel. I think that the transitions between what we just played and this are very smooth, very clean. It doesn't seem like there's collection of the fireflies that you're supposed to be picking up in each individual stage that you're in, and I just think Modus did a great job. Again, getting this game out and publishing it. Sketchbook Games and then Fourth State Limited are the developers. So please, if you see those guys in any other game in the future, just make sure that you give them a look if you like this style of game. But again, just to kind of end, it's an award winner. It was a winner of a dozen accolades, and I'm reading this again off their website. Best indie game, best casual game, and most original game at the Game Connection Paris, and a special selection indie award at the Reboot Develop and the UK Game of the Show at Gamescom. So again, lots of accolades there, well-deserved awards. I hope this gives you an idea of what you can expect in the game. And I keep saying, I hope this gives you an idea of what to expect in the game. But that's the whole point of these Game Pass Library series. Again, the Game Pass Library is in itself also somewhat fleeting, and it may not be there whenever you get access to the games. So get them while they're there. I hope that you have the time to check this one out, and I will see you guys on the next episode, which will be episode 23. And I hope you'll join me there. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.
His mouth went lopsided, and he spoke a little funny. Now he mostly sits around, watching the telly. I don't think Gran would enjoy that. She'd feel like she was giving up.